going for the people who are not able to attend. Um, Module 6, Session 1, AI resistant and AI enhanced assessments. This is the big one. A lot of people are having problems in their class because their assessments are easily done by AI. And so today we're going to look at how to design assessments that strategically balance AI resistance with appropriate AI integration. So it's kind of both sides of the coin where if we want them to not use AI, how does that look? If we do want them to use AI, how would that look as well? So we want to ensure authentic evaluation of student learning while preparing students for an AI-enabled future. So it's really have to look carefully at what the students need to know at any given time in your classroom and focus on that. Develop skills in creating assignments that maintain academic integrity while leveraging AI tools, essentially. Um, we'll see what we can do. I've got some prompts that we can try out in the explore stage, but we're all just kind of figuring this stuff out as we go along. I've got some examples, and on the next page, we'll look at some of the information about it. Um, you got the success outcomes here. I'll go ahead and put those into the chat as well as the link to the page that I'm currently on. Um, although we will be working independently on the listen. So what we need today, access to an LLM chatbot, anyone will do. If you have any current assignments or assessments from your course, especially anything that you feel like is susceptible to students using AI to just complete it without any sort of effort or learning on their part. Um, and then, maybe an assignment that you feel like AI could be used to enhance it in whatever form that takes. If you have your AI use policy from session 2.2, that would also be good to help to feed the LLM to give it more context, and then your journal if you're going to make any notes about the experience. So, okay, I tried this last time. I'm going to try it again, but I'm going to edit it, try something even more different this time. I have our listen page here, um, which I think I said this last time. Maybe it's less of a listen and more of a learn if I'm gonna focus on the L. Um, but initially, it was me talking about these things. I think there's great opportunities here and resources that I've created with the help of AI that I think can give you all an opportunity to interact with this information in any way that you feel is beneficial. So I'm going to kind of let y'all go here to explore and uh, learn as much as you can about this. I have the slide deck here um, which has enough explanation, I think, inside of it. So here for comparing AI resistant versus AI enhanced. Um, and then this is messier than it should be. These should be filling up this box, so I don't know why that didn't uh, go through. But I have a video here if you want to watch a video that is basically explaining what the slide, what it says on the slide here. There's also a podcast that's 15 minutes of two people talking back and forth about this. And then there's an infographic here if you just need, something quick to look at to consolidate the knowledge. And then also there's all of this text down here, some links out if there's some articles that you want to explore and look at. But I'm going to give y'all some time here to kind of interact with this in your own way. Um, Kind of a UDL practice of some people like I love these slide decks that Notebook LM is creating. I think it gives enough information and visual in the way that it's laid out. I get it based on listening to this. And then I've been listening to the podcast on my drive to work. I've started a new thing where I'm taking articles and putting those into podcast form, and I feel like I'm getting the information that I need in that way as well. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna make a breakout room where if you go into the breakout room, it's kind of like the quiet zone study space. So if you want to get into the breakout room and just kind of focus on going through this at your own pace. You can join that breakout room. If you want to stay in here and just kind of have a conversation about this kind of stuff, like maybe you're going through the slides and you're like, oh, I don't understand what this is. Or, something looks weird. These slides are not perfect. This is AI's idea of what is important related to these things. And so it's kind of like an audit as well on kind of the output that AI gives. Um, and hopefully it's like a little bit enlightening to you to see kind of the capabilities of what you can create. Um, I went over this process to create this last week, and this was made in 5 minutes with a couple of tweaks. But um, so I'm gonna make the breakout rooms. Like I said, you can stay in here if you want. If you want to talk with me about, this and AI resistant, AI enhanced assessments, we can have that conversation right off the bat. If you want to kind of study on your own, you could either mute, you can stay in the main room and mute, or I will also have that breakout room there for you to go and kind of that's going to be the quiet space where you can study. So does everybody understand what's going on? Take the silence as
Hey, I gotta
everyone
I- when
understanding.
when we're
Go
done,
ahead.
Ronald,
Yes.
do we come back if I were to go to the breakout room, do I come back here before we're done? Or do I just stay
Yeah.
there till
Whenever
4
you're
or what?
done, you can just hop back into the main room and then, we could talk about key takeaways or, anything that comes up as you're
Okay.
going through it. If you want to talk about it in more detail, then we can do that.
And then if do we just cut out at 4 or when we're done or what? Or do you want us
Oh,
all back
sorry. I
here?
didn't give you all the timetable. Let's do, this self-learning for 15 minutes. I would say try to see if you can get as much information as you can in that 15, and then we'll come back and do like a little share out. But then at 3:30, we're gonna start with the explore stage where we're gonna kind of try those the prompts on the next page. So we'll be all together working on that. Does that make sense? Sorry,
It
I forgot
does
to
now.
mention the time. Okay,
Thank
cool,
you. It's
perfect.
all good.
All right, so I'm gonna make these this breakout room. I'm gonna say 15 minutes. So at 3:25, you know, you don't have to go in, come in, come out, do whatever you want. Um, but I'll stay in here. I'll have my video on. I'll have my mic on. If anybody wants to talk about anything, then we could do that. Okay. Call this the study room. We'll go about 5 more minutes. I don't know if you saw in the chat, but if you can find some examples of AI resistant or AI enhanced assessments, that'll be nice for a quick share out. And then if you finish early, there's a article that's on the bottom of the page that are strategies for AI resistant assignments.
Hey, Ronald.
Yes.
Hey, I got a question.
Sure.
If if what you're teaching is known as a standard, an industry standard, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you're teaching these students how to complete a task or get to an endpoint, right?
Mm-hmm.
How how would like I allow students to use AI because that's a bonus to them
Mm-hmm.
that will assist them in the future, but they also need to be aware that having a foundational knowledge of the terms and things like that, they're gonna need, right? So
Sure.
I can assess them on that through, just essential quizzes, um, pop quizzes, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But to be honest with you, everyone I know in the industry uses their phone or something to look up. If they don't know real quick, they'll grab their phone and look it up. So I let
Mm-hmm.
my students do that because it's the
Mm-hmm.
truth, it's honesty, right?
Mm-hmm.
How how do essentially I can't lock it down. I guess what I'm saying is how would I incorporate AI? Well, I know how to incorporate AI, but I wouldn't be able to really call them out on it because you're teaching them a standard. Do you get what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Like the knowledge we're teaching these students, the whole industry knows, and the goal is they have to be able to do it. So
Yeah.
they do it in front of me. That's how I
Mm-hmm.
assess them. Build it.
Yeah.
Does it work? If it doesn't work, we got a problem. Now let's investigate. Um, a good majority of them with what I teach can do it by the time I'm done. We're done with the class.
Mm-hmm.
But you're talking. They're talking about what resistance, um, or acceptance. I definitely have accepted it because it's part of our industry.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah, I think
it's
in the context of today, when we're talking about AI resistant and AI enhanced, they would just be like um, making sure you're making an assignment if there is something that they need to do without AI. And I don't know, you're saying like they need to know these terms. If they don't know what the term is, then they can look it up. But when you're in
correct.
industry, how much time, like you're not going to be able to get a job somewhere where you're just always looking stuff up instead of
Correct.
actually doing the job. And so
Right. I mean,
I think
that's the
there,
for
yeah.
example is like
Uh-huh.
having a definition for something that's like interview, but real
Mhm.
world is get it done. Get me
Yeah,
to the end result and there are standards to get you there. And
sure.
you know what I mean? There's a process that you have to follow. Everybody does. The
Mhm.
military has these books called the Rainbow Series books, and they explain that step by step. You do it exactly like this. I get
Mhm.
students that come in and they like that. They want
Yeah.
that because they're ex-military, right?
Mhm.
But I have other students who may not like that process. They like to figure it out on their own, but I can't take the AI away from them.
Mhm.
That would be hypocritical in the industry I'm in.
Oh, yeah, sure.
It's even
I
like
mean,
learning how
it
to
would be the
subnet.
same as like taking, Google away if somebody's trying to do something and figures out something that they don't know, we used to go to Google and I'll say, okay, how do I do this? Or YouTube, like, how do I do
Yeah.
this?
Yep.
And I mean, that's just on what is on the job train, not on the job, just in time training, right?
Just in time
And
training. Ooh, I like
for
that.
me, I like just in time training because I don't want to have to learn a bunch of stuff that
Yeah.
like I'm not immediately going to use. Like I want to learn how to do it,
Yep.
when I'm in that situation, then I know next time I'm in that situation, I'll know how to do it because, it's kind of set
Yeah.
up like that. But that's where you can go in and you can decide, you have to decide, okay, how much knowledge do they actually like need to know that's like real quick? Like they need to know it
Yeah.
faster than a Google could come up with the
Yep.
answer, right? Or faster than an AI can come up with the answer. Because if they're just out there kind of vibe
Yeah.
doing your class, like uh vibe working, I guess.
Uh-huh.
I don't think that's gonna be beneficial for them. Like the people who hire them are gonna be like, why did I go with this person that doesn't know how to do the job? They're just kind of like looking up everything as they're
Whose
going along.
nephew is this guy?
So yeah, exactly. So I think with the standards, right, they need to know how to do those standards, and then they need to know like what they actually need to know, like
Yeah.
without any assistance, and then what they are okay to like look up.
I
And
get employers that call me and,
mhm,
for prospective students or employees, right? And they'll call me and they'll ask me like questions. If we put them in a scenario and they didn't know off the top of their head, do they know how to find the answer? Absolutely, because that's something we teach them. That's
mhm,
part of their education is knowing where to find the answer. In my industry, it's okay to do that. Um,
mhm,
but there are foundational things you have to be able to know, like how to set up a mail server with Linux. And I try to, I tell my students, I will never ask you to do something that I don't show you how to do already.
there
So
you
I
go.
will show you how to do it first, and then you do it, right?
Mhm,
Um, it doesn't really change my assessments, though. My assessments are still my assessments. Um, I guess, maybe other classes it could, but with my like what I teach,
mhm,
it's like I teach security and it's a joke because a lot of it is common sense. And I'm sure you know what I mean. I
mhm,
tell my students this is the easiest class you're ever going to take because this is a based off of common sense.
mhm,
Don't do this, don't do that. But what happens? Employees do that, right? And now what happens?
mhm,
Now you get to go in and fix the problem because they didn't listen. Um, and that's the foundational stuff. But I think some industries, I think some different, yeah, I would say industries are going to use AI in a different, for like English. I could, or
mhm,
I could definitely see that being an issue in other industries. In my industry, not as much. I even had a situation because I manage a data center where one of the employees we had an issue and I'm like, well, we could try this, we could do this, we could do this. And he's like, oh no, I already found the answer. I said, well, what did you do? He goes, I used Chat GPT. And it told me that this update came out that broke this and this, and then this happened, and I fixed it.
yeah.
I'm like, okay, cool, good. That's a skill. I like it,
Yeah, I mean, chat is so great because if you don't understand something, you could just be like, I don't understand this part. Give
Hmm.
it to me step by step. Like I'm trying to like practice programming. I'm like trying to do this like game thing with my son in
Oh, cool.
Python, and it's like I know
Oh,
a
good
little bit
luck.
of Python, like I understand what it is and how it works, but I don't know all like the syntax and
Yeah.
all that stuff. And so I'll have chat go through and like, make the code.
Yeah.
I can like recognize some things and I understand like the basic structure. But I'm really at a disadvantage because I don't like if something's wrong and I want to fix it, I
Yep.
have to go back. I'm like reliant on
Right.
ChatGPT for that
Right.
process. And unfortunately, I can't like join the computer
Right.
programming program at Clover Park. I like to, but I just don't have the time for that.
Right.
And so like And this kind of goes back
Sure.
to like a message that I think I've said before of like why we're as instructors, pretty safe, because we know all the stuff and we know like what's right and what's going to work and not what's not going to work. I mean, we're still like figuring it out, especially with AI. Like we're trying to figure out how we can prepare our students for this industry that's changing up. But um, I don't know. I think that you just really have to think about it if you are going into the field and um and it sounds like that's what you're doing. You're like you're saying in the field, if they want to use ChatGPT to figure this out, then they're going to do that. But then what happens
Right.
if Chat can't figure it out right? Like
Yep.
sometimes it's wrong and it's like dead wrong. And
They better
if
have a backup and they better fix it quick.
that's
That's
what
what
I'm
I
saying.
tell
Like
them.
if they have that knowledge base, like if there
Yeah.
is if they're going through and they know these standards and they can do the standards without using ChatGPT, like I don't know. I would say, during the quarter, if you want to have them, try to use ChatGPT, but at the same time, didn't you say that the students did that in like quarter one or two, and then a couple quarters later they didn't understand the basics
Right.
because they had ChatGPT do all the work?
He was feeding his quiz questions in the chat GPT and then he was getting his answers. And he admitted that to me. So his foundational knowledge, he shortchanged himself and he knew it. By the time he got to
Mm,
me, he was like, I'm in trouble.
yeah,
He's doing fine now, by the way. He's doing really well
that's
because
great.
we've spent extra time with him to get him caught up. Um,
Yeah, but
yeah,
if you would have done that the first time instead
yeah,
of like
right.
using AI as a crutch,
Yep.
then when the crutch gets taken away, he's able to like stand on his own. And
See, we
so,
have these things, we have these things called brain dumps for
mhm,
IT certifications that I don't care for. And they pay people to go in and take the test and then come out and write down all the questions they can remember and they post them online. I'm not kidding. I've
crazy.
watched people pass certs that couldn't tell me where the on button was on a computer, but they had that paper, paper certs
Jeez,
is what we call them. But
that's crazy.
that's the thing I could see AI start, in my industry start to cause problems with. But anyway, I don't want to eat up all our time. So thanks for
Yeah, that's
answering
okay.
that.
Think those are some important points to consider. Just to kind of bring it back here to this page and information. I see in the chat Dean says I still like the video option. Slide deck was a little bit busy and hard to read. Infographic was simple and straightforward. Up to this point, I focus on resistance, but am working on enhanced as we can't stop them using this new technology. That's right. I spend too much time trying to verify that they are cheating or not. And we really just want to get away from policing. And so that's where we have our assignments now. We have to take our assignments and see, run your assignment, take your assignment and toss it into ChatGPT and then say, do it. I always say, you are an example student in my class. Do this assignment for me and see what it comes up with. If AI can do all the work, then it's not going to be the assignment needs to be adjusted a little bit. And so let's do that now. I'm going to move on to the next page, the explore page. Actually, no, before I do that, was there any other AI resistant or AI enhanced examples of assessments that jumped out at you as something that maybe you want to try out or I don't know, maybe something that would never work? Um, I'm gonna pick on people. So, Kat, did you find anything in there that like an example assessment
An example assessment that
is either AI resistant or AI enhanced? Like what was what how did you
um
how would they change it so that it could be one of those?
basically things that would allow them to um, either take a picture of a device or pull pull things information together. Not that
Hmm.
it's completely AI resistance by any means, but um, it's not as easy as throwing it into a chat and getting an answer. Um,
Oh, you're saying like the assessment would be they do something and then they would take a picture of that.
right, exactly. So like I
Hmm.
have an assignment where um, they have to access BIOS by typing in something, and so one of the assignments would be to submit a picture of their BIOS screen of a certain
Mm.
setting in there. Not like so not
Mm.
every single tab and all the BIOSes are going to be different looking, but a certain section that's going to outline, let's say, for example, a computer name and model, for example.
Mm.
And they have to take a picture and upload that to the assignment.
So
Kat,
like
didn't you
something
do
that
the
AI could never know,
Yeah,
right?
that
Like
yeah, and
that
like
yeah.
I mean,
specific
you
thing.
could get BIOS pictures online and stuff, but you
Mm.
would have take so much more effort to do that than it would be
Mm.
just doing the assignment.
Yeah, I like that. So something that's super, super specific that you AI just literally can't do replicate that. Okay, what about Derek? Did you find any examples that you liked or that you were interested in?
Yeah, I did, and I think some of the ones in the video and mentioned in the slides, I went through both, and I sort of agree with Dean. Like the slides are like busy. It's sort of hard to know where to start on the slides, you
Yeah.
know. Um,
They're basically like info like a series of infographics that are
right.
just you know,
But at any rate, I sort of found it like uh I do a couple of things. One is which like have students or give students the option to use AI to like summarize a paper or something like that. And then they have to go in and correct that summary, like find the errors
Mm,
that the AI made.
that's great.
The other thing that I do for like labs and homework is I say to them, you can use AI in the same way that you might use Google to help you answer like a question or something like that to help you understand the content. But that's the point. It's to help you understand it, not to do it for you.
Yes,
And I explicitly tell them, if you don't know how to do it, if you don't understand how to actually do this, when it comes time for the exam, you're not going to do well because you don't have AI on the exam because it's in class.
there it
So
is.
it's sort of like, and hopefully that's not too, uh, what was the word that you used earlier? Like gotcha, like
Mm,
type of thing. But it's being I view it as I'm being transparent with them that you can do this and you can use this, but if you don't actually learn the material, you're not going to be successful on the exams.
yeah.
And
So
that's,
you're kind of doing what we're doing here, where it's like I'm trusting y'all to go and go through this and like learn it in whatever way that you feel like is the best way to learn it. But then at the end of the day, you still need to know that information.
right. So I feel like those sorts of examples were highlighted in the material, and I'm like, well, okay, I am doing this. I may not be using AI super frequently myself, but
Mhm.
like by setting the assignment policies for my students, at least I'm giving them the options and trying to
Okay.
teach them to use it in certain ways too.
Okay, cool, very cool. Anne Marie, do you have anything that you would like to add to the conversation? I know you're kind of in a different position than us.
Yeah, I mean, I teach College 102, so I think it's kind
Oh,
of hard
okay.
for me because a lot of what I ask is self-reflection. And
Mm,
currently, I can kind of tell when they use generative AI because it's very formal, and what I'm asking for is a self-reflection. And they don't often, when they use AI, it doesn't actually answer the questions that I ask. Um, so, but I'm sure it'll get more sophisticated. I don't know.
uh-huh.
I'm still Yeah,
I like the
exactly.
reflection aspect, and I'm wondering if that's probably in like a discussion board, or is it like an assignment that's
Yeah.
on
Yeah, like
Canvas?
I do a discussion board, like so we do different topics, right? So it's, one topic might be, study skills. So it's kind of like what are your current challenges? Like what have you tried to use to address it? What do you think you're going to try to like how, so it's just like it's going to be unique to each person, but in the concept of study skills, but if that makes sense. But
Yeah.
I try to make my college one too more experiential. We do a lot of breakout groups and discussions in class and just, but at the end of the day, they're going to get out of it what they put into it.
Hmm.
Um,
It's really on the on them. So, but yeah, it sounds like reflections can be done by AI. But I don't know, like why would you want to do a reflection on AI? The reflection is kind of for you to like think about what you're doing and what you're learning. That's one of the AI resistant is to make reflections, but I don't know how resistant it is. What about you, Kat? Do you want to have anything to add on to
I
that?
just so wanted to add as well, because Anne Marie, you had mentioned that, you do kind of about yourself. I am the type that I get so nervous saying anything to anybody about myself. I don't know why. It just is like a personal thing that I'm like,
Mm,
I do not want to open up my life to anybody else. You know what I
yeah.
mean? And so, or talk about it in front of a class or anything like that. And we had an exercise as if in the faculty and service day one time. I think it was like a poem thing, and I can't tell you how bad I struggled with that. And it was like, you got 5 minutes, do it right now, And I'm like, oh my gosh.
Mm,
But it sat with me really like later on. And I was like, kind of as a toy sense of things, what if I, would to put in here characteristics, and I was listening to everybody else's sharing and everything, and I thought it was really cool. So I was like, just because AI was a discussion at that point, I was like, let me pop out AI and try to, customize it to, okay, well, if I had, if I was from this state, what would this look like? And it was a poem, and it was kind of already structured and put there for you. So it was fun to actually kind of integrate AI. And I was like, that would be kind of a nifty little
mm,
activity, is to integrate AI and have students throw some sort of aspect of themselves into not personal information, not anything identifiable or anything, but general.
mhm.
Like I was born in Wisconsin or in New
I like
York
Star
or
Wars.
that kind of
Yeah.
things. Yeah. And give me a nifty little, spit out, here's the template, and spit out something that
Mm,
would be nifty, or could come up with like things like that. So I was just exploring. It was just fun. It made it a funner activity in my mind.
sure.
And something I'd be more likely to share, I suppose.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. And that's the example of an AI enhanced. Like it's going to like you can't really do that. Like you can do it the one way, but then you have AI that's over here trying to interpret it, and then you got the students like, nah, that's not right, or that's kind of
Yeah.
it
Do you guys
seems
remember
more
that?
interesting and engaging.
Do you guys remember that? The poem, the thing that we did at the end service, it was like a about me
Oh, I
thing.
do. I remember it very well.
Yeah.
Well, sounds like it was
So
a memorable icebreaker, and if you're adding in AI to it, then
yeah.
that adds another level of interest, I think. So, I'm gonna switch gears back to what we're working on here. I've got the AI resistant and AI enhanced assessments, the Explore. So, we're gonna practice designing some assessments using different strategic approaches, the AI resistant and then also the AI enhanced. And then like a hybrid approach that is attempting to balance both. I don't know how that's going to work, but we've got some prompts here on the Explore page, which I'll put into the chat just so that we're all on the same page. Um, but I need an assignment. So y'all got
There's an
I need an,
assignment.
you have an assignment for me?
I think so. Hold on one second.
Okay, cool. If you can give me an assignment, then I can pop this in there with that assignment, and then we can see what it does. If you all want to do it alone on your own version of ChatGPT or Claude, you can do that as well. I'm going to use just the free version of chat just to see. And actually, maybe I'll do both. Maybe I'll do free version and not free and kind of compare the two. So as we're getting that assignment, this prompt here says, help me redesign this assignment to be more AI resistant. And then I'm just gonna copy the assignment into there. Make it require personal reflection, which we just talked about, connections to their specific cultural background and community, analysis of local context or situations they've witnessed, and individual perspectives that can be generated by AI. That's kind of the things that were highlighted in the learn page, the listen page.
Do you need an assignment that is not AI or that
This one, is this just a what is this one? Can
this
I
is kind of a
paste this one
phase?
in?
Yeah.
Give me a quick 30 seconds about what the assignment is.
I don't know if this one is on a security policy. So basically, students will, before this, they actually create like a fictitious organization, number of
Mhm.
employees, all that sort of stuff, what kind of company it is, and so forth. And on this one, what they'll do is they'll actually put this fictitious organization and they will prompt AI. And I don't specifically tell them how. Actually, I give them examples. Um,
Okay.
but they'll prompt it to create a IT security policy. And
Mm,
so everybody has done this differently in the like students do this differently. So when they come back and we go over the assignment, they actually I'll have like 5 people share what they found and what they how they prompted and what they found from it.
mhm.
And that kind of opens up the table for discussion of different prompting methods and so forth, and the output that was obtained and the different versions that they used or the different
I really like this
platforms.
assignment, and I think that it's a great example of an AI enhanced assignment, since you got them out there using it. For the purpose of this one, I'm thinking about something that we want them not to use AI. This one's saying, you're
I
going to use
gotcha.
ChatGPT. So
I
I'll
gotcha.
see if I can find one to use. But if anybody else has any other examples, then feel free to put them into the chat. You can just put a link to your page if you're going in through uh, uh, if you're going in through Canvas. I can just get there. In the meantime, like I said, I'm kind of working on this public speaking course, so I will post this assignment and just kind of see what it comes up with. So this assignment, this is about preparing for a speech, a demonstration speech, um, and finding a topic. Okay, something that you can demonstrate clearly, and then a couple of things that they need to keep in mind when they're putting together their discussion post. Okay, so. First of all, let's see how AI resistant this assignment is. Um, so imagine you are a student in a public speaking course. Let's see if it says do this assignment. If it'll give me any like, oh, I don't know if I should do this assignment. Okay. How to make a great cup of pour over coffee at home. Okay. Why it fits the demo. The process is clear. It gives me a list of things that I should use and a rough list of steps. Okay. Looks like AI can do that. Obviously, if you're given a speech, you can't really have AI give the speech. Um, but let's see if we put this prompt in here with these extra considerations and see if it's something that would improve the assignment at all. So this one, now we're out of the student mode and in teacher mode to see you can keep the same skills, feasibility, while making the process unmistakably personal and situated. So redesign version without sounding like an anti-AI police assignment. Recording it. Let me see here. This all looks pretty same here. Okay. Be something you have personally done, practiced, or learned through experience. So adding in that personally there. Be something you can clearly demonstrate on camera. Visual aids you actually use or have access to. And then the tips that you learn the hard way. Maybe AI could come up with that. Clear logical steps, and then the discussion post. So here's the personal connection. What would you demonstrate? Where did you learn this skill? Why do you know how to do this? What experience made you confident? So targeted questions specifically to the human experience. Describe how this connects to your cultural background, family traditions, job, neighborhood, school, or community. Explain why this skill matters in that context. Okay, local or real life context. List the actual items, tools, or visuals you own and regularly use. So I would definitely say it's adding in some elements that are maybe a little bit more difficult for the AI to come up with. Let me see if I can copy this in and then see what it comes up with. I will demonstrate how to make a good cup of pour over coffee at home. I learned how to make pour over coffee during a time when I was trying to save money and stop buying coffee. Sounds pretty good. Just follow the basic instructions. I've messed up with it plenty of times. I know our students are very, very commonly using the M dash. Coffee that was too bitter. This is a skill connects to my daily routine and my family because coffee is something we all drink and talk about every morning. I mean, actually, it sounds pretty good. So let's see what else we can do to this if we want to change it a little bit more. So I could iterative say that word today. Iterative development with AI. Build in collaborative improvement cycles. So design an assignment process where the students work iteratively. That's pretty good. With AI, initial brainstorming or outline generation, human refinement and development, AI-assisted revision and improvement, and then final human judgment. So are we in the AI enhanced? I feel like I'm in the wrong one. Okay, I was like, what? This is stuff that we're not supposed to be doing with AI. Okay, redesign the same assignment to emphasize learning process over the final product. I think this is maybe not a good example because that's literally what this is showing the process on how to do something. So still waiting for that assignment example if anybody has one. Um, let's see. This is a process first redesign and it pairs beautifully with the demo speech. You will be assessed on how you think, how you adapt, and how you recognize challenges. Okay, so this one here, topic exploration and decision, show how you arrive at the topic, not just the topic itself. Oh, that's pretty good. Like maybe briefly list 3 demo topics that you've considered, and then maybe, model out brainstorming where you've got like little pegs that go off to why is it interesting, what concerns, and then why did you choose the final topic? I mean, like literally having them write it out, um, and submit that as the notes. Um, I've been reading a lot of news and trying to stay up with everything that's going on with AI and like focusing on like usually, math always comes up as an example, like with the calculator. But like where before you would just provide the, final answer, you, if you're taking a test, multiple choice, here's the question, here's the final answer. That's kind of like what we've been focusing on, is that final result. But instead, focusing on the scratch paper. Like, what's the scratch paper that they needed to use to come up with that final answer? So that would be an example of process over product. An unedited practice clip. Nice. So instead of the final presentation, some of those practice what am I saying? Clips of going through it. To like kind of show the learning. Learning reflection, capture the growth. What was the hardest part? What changed the most from your original plan? That's pretty good. So that's once again focusing on process. And I like these kind of guided reflection questions because, reflect on the process that's kind of vague and it leaves room for interpretation, but as y'all know with the journal, the reflection journal, there's like questions that are like focused on something specific. Oh, and then changing the grading from the process and reflection to be 40% and then the final speech to 60. I mean, for me, a little bit less pressure for that final, right? If uh if the process is involved in it, usually the process isn't involved in it. It's just what's the final result. If I feel like, okay, I'm actually like learning this and I'm being graded on, how I'm learning this, then I'm gonna try to learn it in an effective way. Okay, and then there's one more here. Add a live performance component. Once again, maybe a bad example with you know, they have to give the demonstration. But let's see what this comes up with. This is where assignment really becomes AI proof by design. I mean, this can be applied to anything outside of public speaking, any sort of assignment where you have them actually go up and, instead of a final paper that they're submitting a final presentation or a final portfolio. Um, let's see here, micro instructor. I don't know. I don't really have time to look at that one, but I want to go in and see now. Now this one, I don't know if it would be beneficial to have an AI enhancement to it, but let's check and see. This is the same kind of prompt idea. But instead of focusing on not including AI, this is the opposite of where we want to try to redesign it and put AI into it. Okay. So I am going to see here. Make a new chat, but I want to copy and paste this one in there. And I know we're coming up on the hour, so if you need to leave for 4 o'clock on a Friday, then I will not be saddened. I mean, I'll be sad that you won't be here, but I understand. I'm gonna finish this one and then we'll be done for the day on this one. But while this ooh, that's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to do this. Um If anybody has anything else that they want to say while I'm just kind of messing around here with ChatGPT, now is a good time. Like, where is it? Okay, there we go. We'll put that one into here. And I don't know if I got the full thing, but let's see. Okay, so this one here is including requirements for using AI to gather initial information and generate ideas, documenting AI prompts, critically evaluating and fact-checking the outputs. Someone was just talking about that with the summaries, adding human analysis, synthesis, and judgment. Okay, let's see what this one comes up with. So topic selection and AI supported planning. This week, you'll begin planning the speech. You are not recording yet. Your goal right now is to select and use AI as a research and brainstorming partner, not a replacement. Very important qualifier there at the end. Include visual aids. Okay, this looks all the same. Okay, so using AI as a research and analysis partner, you're required. We don't want to say that. Let's not require anybody to use an AI tool just because some people are just fundamentally against it. Um, Encouraged to use an AI tool to support your early planning. Think of AI as a starting point. It can help you generate ideas, but you are responsible for evaluating, refining, and improving. So really setting the terms there at the beginning of like you're going to be doing this part of it, and then AI is going to be doing this part of it. You may use AI to brainstorm possible topics. Ask whether it'll fit into the 5 to 7 minutes. Clearly, AI has never used AI to make timing because it's, from my experience, terrible at knowing how long things take. Generate a rough list of steps. Suggest visuals. That's pretty good. Suggest the visuals or make the visuals. Required AI documentation. So I would recommend this for anybody who's using AI is to have your students document it. Because that shows how they're using it. You can see like, oh, this is what you use for the prompt, but maybe this would have been a better way to do it. You know, at least one prompt that you use, a brief summary or excerpt of the response. So I know I asked for summaries at the end in this class. Your evaluation of the AI output. This is good. This is like your personal reflection on what the AI spits out. And then your human contribution. So what did the AI do? And then what did you do? How did you bring yourself into it? Okay, AI collaboration. And then it gives a rubric for it, appropriateness. Okay. Oh, here we go. Oh, so 60% content and speech readiness, 40% AI collaboration and human value added. All right. Human judgment. That's good. Get them practice using the AI in a responsible way. All right, I'm just curious because I want to see what would have. This is building in collaborative improvement cycles. So let's see what this says. Oh, I'm logged in. Um, okay, what's this say here? Design an assignment process where students work iteratively with AI in initial brainstorming, human refinement, AI assisted revision. It sounds a little bit like what we already did, but it's a little bit more specific. Required submission AI prompts, brief excerpt. We talked about that. Yeah, we already talked about that. So, oh, this is putting it into a phase system. So you got phase one is the AI assisted brainstorming and outline. Then it's the human refinement and development. Then it's the AI assisted revision. Then it's the final human. So it's kind of like you do this, AI does this. You do this, AI does this. Thanks, Kelly. I like that. and then it gives a grade on how to do that. It's the last one here, and then we'll end this up here. Frame AI as a professional competency. Reframe the assignment as a professional skill development. Oh, this is actually pretty good. So I know Kelly just left, but he was talking about in industry when you're using people can use AI. And so this is saying that what AI skills do professionals in your field actually need to know? How can students practice responsible AI use relevant to their careers? And what evaluation criteria assess good versus poor collaboration? See here, examples. Oh, nice. Gives us some examples here. Practice responsible AI use. Students must be transparent, demonstrate verification, judgment, accountability. This is pretty good. I'm gonna have to spend a little bit more time with this just to kind of make sure that everything is looking legit and usable. But feel free, you all, to hop into the Explore here. There's also a hybrid approach that I'm not going to go over, but if you want to see if AI can juggle the two, that's there for you to explore. So thank you all for coming. I always appreciate you being here on a Friday, and I hope you all have a great weekend.
Thank you, Ronald.
Bye.
Bye.